Joining us on Strike a Chord is our guest, which she's a TikTok sensation. This is Alexandra K, is live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. Also, don't forget to check out our brand new podcast series, Off the Fret, featuring the Blowies as our inaugural guest. More music talk. Out now wherever you listen to your podcast. We don't care. We don't judge you. But we got Alexandra with us. And how you doing, fam?
Hi, I'm good. How are you guys?
We are fabulous. You look fabulous. I can feel the energy already. And let's just get it rocking and rolling.
Yeah, and congrats on your upcoming marriage real quickly. I
know thank you so much.
Weekend, so.
What a lucky man. High school sweetheart and everything. I mean, what a guy. What a guy. He's so lucky. But it's not about him right now. It's about you. And let's get the ball rolling, okay? Because at the age of 15, you were a competitor by nature. You were playing for a nationally ranked softball team, and then eventually you turned down college scholarships to pursue a career in music. And I don't know about you, my first reaction was, did your parents have a heart attack when they first heard this? Because what motivated you to become a singer and songwriter?
They did. I mean, anybody who knows anything
be honest, did they really? I
mean, club sports are expensive, and they put absolutely every dime that they could into making sure that we were on the best teams, trained with the best people. We played all year round. We would play indoor softball on during the winter time on like turf, which was different. I mean, we had colleges out there by the time we were 16 years old that couldn't talk to us, but they were watching. It was very, very intense. And so for me to come in and be like, I'm going to be the only one of the family that doesn't take these scholarships. And actually, I don't think I'm going to go to college right away. They were like, what?
Yeah, because it's my understanding that early on in your career in 2012, you linked up with Nelly, out of all people, to start producing music, that you created enough buzz to sign your own independent record deal. Your first, I believe. But
yes.
Tell the listening audience, how in the world did you link up with Nelly? I mean, obviously he knows that something's getting hot in here, if you know what I'm saying.
That's great. Yeah, actually, as soon as I decided that I wasn't going to go straight to college, my parents were like, well, you better get to it. They gave me a time limit. I believe it was a year to really start making moves, start making some money as a musician. And really just kind of show them that I was serious about it. Otherwise, I would need to find some, go get my own place and, move out. Or I needed to go to college, one of the two. So I was working at the Four Seasons Hotel. I was a hostess in their restaurant at the time. And there was a couple different guys that worked in the hotel that also were rapping on the side. And so I linked up with them and I started just singing their hooks for free. I was like, I just want to get into it. They introduced me to more people. That's how I ended up
networking.
Yeah. And then, met Nelly and did some stuff with him. And then,
awesome.
Ended up signing a deal. So yeah, it was just all through networking, and I just had to get out there and make my own connections and put myself in.
I love that message. You really need to go out there and see the people, especially when we get out of this COVID nonsense. You really got to take the charge that Alexandra K is doing, because I think that is such a powerful message for up and coming artists around the world.
Sure.
And I know that we're going to be playing your latest single, I Kinda Don't, and you sing the following chorus, and I kind of want to hate you. Kind of would be you. Kind of wish I never had to meet you in this bar, because now I see what he sees. What in the world do you mean when you sing, because now I see what he sees?
So I had a boyfriend for a couple of years, and we did the long distance thing. We ended up breaking up, couldn't do it anymore. He was in the Air Force. And so we broke up while he was still over in New Mexico. He ended up dating another girl with my same name, actually. And I really did not.
Oh, no, I didn't get your name tattooed. My dad got a T on his arm. So he kept dating women named with a T.
Oh, no.
Oh my God.
Well, you know what, Marissa? I think we should just let the music speak for itself. This is Alexandra K's track, I Kinda Don't, which reached the #1 spot on iTunes Country Songs chart independently. Congrats. Hear this song right now. It's so good. So good.
Everyone's still here. Call me back.
It's kinda hard to put my finger on what it was that made him make the call to call it off. Didn't even wanna believe it. I kinda thought I'd have a little more time. I'd right my wrongs and I'd apologize and we'd be fine. is the perfect shade on you. It gets to me that I wanna buy you another drink, but every time his name rolls off your lips, it reminds me you're the reason mine will never be on his. And I kinda wanna hate you, kinda wanna be you, kinda wish I never had to meet you in this bar. 'Cause now I see what he sees. You're everything I can't be. I can't pretend I'm over him, and seeing you ain't hard. I kinda hope it works out for you both, but then again, I kinda don't. I was happier just putting the blame on you. Now you've gone and took that from me too. And I kinda wanna hate you, kinda wanna be you, kinda wish I never had to walk into this bar. 'Cause now I see what he sees. You're everything I can't be. I can't pretend I'm over him, and seeing you ain't hard. Oh, I kinda hope it works out for you both. I kinda hope I find the strength to let him go. But then again, I kinda don't. Ooh, I kinda don't. I kinda don't.
Wow, something's getting odd in here. I just know Alexandra K had to cool down, get real soapy. That is an amazing music video, and we just want to let the listening audience know that you're listening to Strike a Chord, where if you physically or digitally pick up those records, you're going to know these tracks. And Alexandra, the next track that we're going to be playing on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show, is Dive Bar Dreamer, which I believe sums
My
up
anthem.
your musical career and your overall message to young people around the world to never give up on your dreams. And talk to me about how you became a dive bar dreamer who grew overnight success on TikTok with over 1.8 million followers. It's insane.
Just hit 2 million today.
Oh my
Wow.
gosh,
Well,
Dave.
congrats.
Yes. Congratulations.
Thank you. Thank you. Honestly, the dive bar dreamer is just the story of climbing. I wrote it about myself, about my journey, and just every dive bar across the country that gave me a chance, that would just let me play, whether it was for little to no more money, little to no people. I've literally played a bar in Kentucky, one of my first shows I ever had, where not a single person walked in the entire night. I played for the bartender. I mean, I've gone from playing to absolutely no one for no money to getting to play for audiences that sing my songs back to me. And that's really the story of Dive Bar Dreamer, and just never giving up no matter how hard it gets, and believing in yourself.
Doesn't
when no
it
one
almost
else does.
sound to the same resemblance of like even yourself, right? I mean, what I was seeing from you, you started off doing like even, country covers, even on social media. You're not necessarily playing to anyone. You're hoping that someone sees you. And did you feel like with that kind of experience of playing to a bartender that it gave you that kind of confidence to be able to have that social media fandom that you have today?
Absolutely. I really and anybody who asks me, how do I start this? I really love to sing. I really love to write music. How do I start? I said, you have to put yourself out there, and you have to not care what people think. That is the only way that you're going to be able to get yourself in front of enough eyes for them to want to pay attention and listen to what you've got coming out next. So anybody who's listening, who's wanting to get a start, just do it. That is literally the only thing that I can say.
I love that. And I know you have a line in your track, Dive Bar Dreamer, where you sing, she spends her days writing songs that the labels don't want to hear. And she spends her nights playing for tips and beer. And you know her well because she's standing right here. She's a dive bar dreamer. I love that. It gives me kind of chills. And, you kind of already hit it on the head, but it's like, is playing as many live shows as you possibly can the way to go, even during COVID? Like, I mean, is that the number one thing that you need to focus on? Or like, I know people are experiencing the live streams. Do you think it's so important to put a face to that voice nowadays in 2021?
I think that it's just keeping going, keeping moving, keeping busy. So whether that's writing, getting out and playing for your fans, getting out to playing for people who don't know you, I think that you become a better performer every single time you step on and off that stage. You learn something new, you discover something new about yourself, you push yourself to a new limit, whether it's how high you can sing, or whether it's how long you can go without taking a breath, and you really learn from all of those experiences. So I would say live performance is so important. Whether you're scared or not, get out and do it. You're going to get better with every single show.
I love that message.
Fire.
Straight fire. Straight fire.
Yes.
And with over 5 million collective streams on Alexandra K's independent releases, let's go ahead and play that track right now. This is called Dive Bar Dreamer.
Turn my face towards the light for a little while, hoping to soak it in, thinking maybe somehow it ignite a fire that burned out from the constant rejection. You're good, but she's better. Just keeping on. But if it's alright, I'd like to sing you all a song about a dive bar dreamer in her dime store boots. She is a constant believer and always sticking to her roots. She spends her days writing songs that the labels don't want to hear, and she spends her nights playing for tips and beers. And you know her well, 'cause she's standing right here. She's a dive bar dreamer, a dive bar dreamer. I tell myself that it's all gonna be alright. Rome wasn't built in a day. You knew what was coming when you chose this life. A lot of hurry up and wait, but I promise that your time is coming. Just keeping on. Until then, I'm gonna sing you all this song about a dive bar dreamer in her dime store boots. She is a constant believer and always sticking to her roots. She spends her days writing songs that the labels don't want to hear, and she spends her nights playing for tips and beers. She'll rise like the smoke in the neon light. She'll rise like every glass in the air tonight. She'll rise above or down to the fence tonight. She'll rise, I will rise, 'cause I'm a dive bar dreamer in my time store boots. I am a constant believer and always sticking to my roots. I spend my days writing songs that the labels don't want to hear, and I spend my nights playing for tips and beers. But I'm living my dream as sure as I stand here, 'cause I'm a dive bar dreamer. I'm a dive bar dreamer. I'm a dive bar dreamer.
Wow. Isn't Alexandra K something special? I mean, you are blessed right now to be listening to us on Strike a Chord, where if you physically or digitally pick up these records, you're going to know these tracks. And that was Alexandra K's track, Dive Bar Dreamer. Holy moly. And I know when I was speaking with you yesterday, you gave me some time to speak with you for a few minutes. And I know you were beyond stoked to talk about your upcoming tour, because to me, just feeling it from you and your energy, this was almost like an FU to the old school music industry moguls who say, if you go on tour, you're not going to become successful just because of the following that you have on social media. The spotlight's on you, girl. You have the mic. What do you want to let them know what's good?
I really feel like when the label started coming in, as soon as I put out I Kinda Don't, it charted. Obviously, my inbox was kind of flooded at that point, and I started taking meetings. And at that point, I had no team around me, and my dog wanted to come in and say hi, I guess. But I had no team around me, and so I was taking all of these meetings by myself, and it was very difficult. And one thing that I kept noticing throughout the time of taking these meetings was, well, you don't have this, or this. So what I decided to do was just start checking off those boxes. Okay, I don't have this. We're gonna make that happen. I don't have this. We're gonna make that happen. And one of those last boxes was that people didn't really feel like I was going to be able to sell tickets off of my social media following alone. So we went out on the first leg of the In Real Life tour, me, Cooper Allen, and Thomas Mack, and we ended up selling out 7 of the 9 shows.
Yeah, what a killer lineup in the country music world. And I think that's what is so cool, because I will admit this, and I probably admitted this like numerous times on the Chris Collins Show. I'm not the craziest fan of modern day country music, but you make storytelling in country music so refreshing. And I think what you're doing with your vocal tones and everything, I haven't heard that today. And much kudos to that, because I think that is phenomenal. And I love your latest track, How Do We Go, as it speaks on the mantra in your own words when you sing, how do we go from bad to good? Or no, you didn't sing that. You said this, right? You said, how do we go from bad to good, instead of how did we go from good to bad? And let the CCS family know exactly what you mean by this.
So whenever I got in the room, I remember like sitting at my house before I went back to Nashville and just coming up with this how do we go concept. And at first it was exactly how I always think, which is ballad, sad. How did we get here? I'm so devastated that we're here. And so we got into the room with Matt Wynn and Lizzie Cates, who helped me co-write the track. And Matt was like, let's bring it to something more light. Like, let's show the light at the end of the tunnel that we can get here. We just have to believe in it. We have to work really hard, because isn't that, we've all been through this. It doesn't matter if it ends your relationship or not. We've all been there. We've all felt a pull, whether it's distance or somebody goes on nights and the other's working days, or you're just not syncing up. And,
that's more relevant today, right? I mean, that's more relevant. I mean, I think with what your music does, it can relate to any kind of situation in our lives. And I find that so special. And I know that we're about to be playing you that track right now, live on the Chris Collins Show, Millennial Talk Show. We're beyond stoked because this is a phenomenal track. This song's called How Do We Go?
Used to smile and say you're beautiful. I would laugh cause I was uncomfortable. Now I'd give anything just to hear that again. I remember nights we'd sleep so close, I could feel you breathing soft and slow. And I'd give anything just to feel that again. I wanna get on track to getting us back. Just tell me where to begin. How do we go from rust to shine? Just getting it done to getting it done right. Not talking it up, passing you in the hall, to needing to hear you say goodnight. I gotta know, is it worth the fight? Should I just let it go or try to change your mind? Is a chapter about to start, or the book about to close? How do we go? How do we go? So many nights we cry and say how we feel, know what we gotta do, and both say we will, but we never seem to follow through. Now do we, baby? 'Cause every time I get you all alone, we're both here, but it feels like we're already gone. I hate the feeling that I don't even know you anymore. So how do we go from rust to shine? Just getting it done to getting it done right. Not talking it up, passing you in the hall, to needing to hear you say goodnight. I gotta know, is it worth the fight? Should I just let it go or try to change your mind? Is a chapter about to start, or the talking it all, passing you in the hall. 'Cause I need to hear you say goodnight. I gotta know, is it worth the fight? Should I just let it go or try to change your mind? Is a chapter about to start, or the book about to close? Are we gonna walk this road together or alone? How do we go? How do we go?
Oh, you gotta love it. That is Alexandra K, and that is her track, How Do We Go? And for the CCS family and the listening audience that is tuning on into YouTube Live and checking us out, you know, on our podcast later on in the future. I know, we're speaking in the future. Right now, where can they follow you on social media?
You guys can follow me at Alexandra K Music. That's my TikTok and my Instagram, and then Alexandra K on Facebook as well. And I'm so excited that we are about to announce another leg of the In Real Life tour, taking us to Texas, Louisiana, Georgia, Alabama. So tickets will be on sale on Tuesday.
This is what makes me so excited to have these kind of moments at the end of the show, because it lets us all know the return of live music is coming sooner than we know it. And I love it. Much success to you, and hopefully we can talk again later on in the future. And you know what? This is a living legend we're all speaking to right now. Alexandra K, thank you again for joining the Chris Collins Show Millennial Talk Show.
Thank you, guys.